Hey there guys, this is Richard, your host, with another marvelous video. Darkseid is. In every comic book universe, an unrivaled antagonist reigns supreme. This incomprehensible entity transcends mortal depiction, showcasing relentless power that eclipses heroism and hope, asserting dominance as the ultimate force. Without our champion's united defense, this villain would annihilate the entire universe. Enter the apex nemesis of the DC Universe, Darkseid, the harbinger of nightmares, poised to challenge its defenders. Today's video explores all variants of Darkseid that have ever appeared over comics, TV, animations, and games. So, join me, fellow parademons, to Apocalypse for Darkseid. But before we begin, we have a small request. If you like our content, please subscribe to our channel. It's a small click from you, but it means a lot to us. Thank you. One, yet many. Darkseid was a being who was considered to be a singular entity throughout DCU's journey from a solitary universe to an omniverse. But with the passage of time, we've all seen different versions of Darkseid unveiling on different Earths across the omniverse. These versions are often termed as avatars of the real Darkseid, which have taken shape as the Darkseid of a particular universe. Darkseid's aura, essence, and energy has made its footprint across the omniverse at different omniversal timelines in different avatars and different degrees, much like an iron screw when pushed through a pile of disorganized paper. Come, let's fly in the Ultima Thule to visit an array of universes which houses different versions of the Dark God. Number 1. Darkseid from DC's main Earth. Darkseid debuted in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen issue number 134, December 1970, where Superman discerned the impending arrival of a cosmic god set to invade all. However, Darkseid's genesis unfolded in Forever People issue number 1. Born from Yuga Khan and Hagra, Euxus and Drax, driven by ambition, sought Apocalypse's throne. As both princes vied for the coveted Omega Force in the Infinity Pit, Euxus slew Drax and absorbed the Force. His skin turned into stone. He became infinitesimally powerful and the carrier of the Omega effect. He baptized himself as Darkseid and summoned his dominion over Apocalypse. He sought the anti-life equation and wanted to covet it to rule over the entire existence. Euxus from New 52 timeline. After Barry Allen caused the Flashpoint in 2011 and rebooted the main DCU, the New 52 universe was born. In this version, rather than a prince, he was Euxus, a humble laborer dwelling among the old gods alongside his brother Isaiah. In the conflict, while Isaiah and his partner feared the old gods, Euxus nurtured a profound animosity toward them. Amidst the old gods' playful antics, mortals were treated as disposable beings, subject to their whims. Under cover of night, Euxus ascended the Forbidden Mountain, manipulating the slumbering deities into warring amongst themselves. As they perished in battle, Euxus, wielding a scythe, claimed their powers, transcending into Darkseid, a new god. As the Lord of Sky succumbed, he transferred his power to Isaiah, and he also emerged as a new god. Engaged in a fierce conflict, Darkseid and Isaiah's battle unleashed such overwhelming force that it shattered the realm of the new gods. Mirroring pre-New 52 events, this rupture birthed two fragments, New Genesis and Apocalypse. Within this divide, Darkseid commenced his reign of tyranny, seizing control and establishing his dominance over Apocalypse. Number 3. Euxus from retconned New 52 timeline. During the later stages of the New 52 timeline, Darkseid's origin story was retconned. It was revealed that the brothers Isaiah and Euxus emerged in Galactica, the third world, which was formed from the living atoms of deceased old gods. Their peace shattered when Euxus murdered Avia, Isaiah's wife, sparking a catastrophic conflict among the gods that ravaged Galactica. After 7 relentless days of warfare, Euxus and his supporters faced exile. Over time, Euxus ascended to power, claiming dominion over Apocalypse as its ruler, Darkseid. Lex Luthor from New 52. During the Darkseid War event, the tumultuous God War between the Anti-Monitor and Darkseid wreaked havoc on Earth. Struggling, Darkseid beckoned the Black Racer to aid him, but the Anti-Monitor fused the entity with Flash, creating a god of death. Employing an anti-life blast, the Anti-Monitor struck Darkseid, and Flash, empowered, phased through Darkseid, dealing the final blow that led to Darkseid's demise. Concurrently, Lex and Superman were on Apocalypse. In the aftermath of Darkseid's death, a colossal surge of energy stemming from the anti-life equation granted unique abilities to Lex and the League. Absorbing a significant amount of Darkseid's energy, Luthor ascended as the god of Apocalypse, inheriting the mantle of the new Darkseid. Prime Darkseid from Infinite Frontier. During the Infinite Frontier era, amid the multiverse's expansion into an omniverse, Darkseid found himself imprisoned on Earth Omega, merging with his myriad selves scattered across the multiverse, who he deemed as inferior iterations of himself. He emerged as the ultimate Prime Darkseid. There was no alternate existence of him elsewhere. His former allies later congregated on Earth Omega. Standing by his side as a new follower, Extract pledged allegiance. Engaging the Justice League Incarnate, Darkseid suffered defeat at the hands of the Great Hand. leading to his banishment to a mysterious realm where Pariah and the Great Darkness manipulated his mind. Under Pariah's control, Darkseid became a weapon against the Justice League, launching an assault on the Hall of Justice during the Dark Crisis. Yet, Nightwing's defiance against the Great Darkness liberated Darkseid, allowing his return to Apokolips. The Master from 30th century. Darkseid emerged in the 30th century, engaging in a monumental conflict known as the Great Darkness Saga against a legion of superheroes. He appeared in this future timeline of main DCU as an enigmatic, shrouded figure, manipulating events from the background with the help of his minions, who refer to him as the Master. Commanding the Great Darkness, he manipulated his immense powers to enslave the entire populace of 3 billion Daxamites, empowering them to assail Earth and restructure it in Darkseid's image. Amidst battling the Legionnaires and Supergirl, he reluctantly released his control over the Daxamites, recognizing the challenge of facing such a vast number of superpowered adversaries. Forced to retreat, Darkseid cursed the Legionnaires with the Curse of Darkness before withdrawing from the conflict. Darkseid from DC Multiverse 1198. In the alternate Elseworld narrative titled Superman the Darkseid, Kal-El's vessel landed on Apokolips 1198, diverging from Earth. The Darkseid of this universe raised Superman as his own, molding him into a soldier and assassin, then sending him to Earth for an invasion. As time passed, Superman's conscience evolved, steering him toward heroism. Embracing his innate heroism, he rallied the oppressed inhabitants of Apokolips 1198, leading them in a rebellion against Darkseid's oppression. His efforts culminated in the overthrow of the tyrant's regime, emancipating the realm from its oppressive ruler. Number 8. Darkseid from DC Marvel Multiverse 7642. This rendition of Darkseid debuted in the story The Uncanny X-Men and the New Teen Titans. In the shared DC Marvel universe of Earth 7642, he pursued ultimate power by targeting the Source. His ambition led him to seek access through the Source Wall, believing the Phoenix Force could aid his endeavor. Orchestrating a plan to recreate the Dark Phoenix, Darkseid mined memories from the X-Men, extracting traces of her power from multiple sources. He amplified these remnants with energy from the ruptured Source Wall, facilitated by Metron's sacrifice. Both the Titans and the X-Men, forewarned by Starfire, fell into the clutches of Deathstroke and Darkseid's forces. Reviving the Dark Phoenix, a monumental clash ensued. Colossus disrupted the gathering of psionic residue, allowing the teams to separate the Dark Phoenix from Darkseid. Through the efforts of Professor X and Cyclops, Jean Grey's human consciousness was freed. She sacrificed herself once more to vanquish Darkseid and imprison him in the Source Wall. This version of Darkseid also faced off against Galactus in the Hunger storyline. He fought with all his might in order to save Apokolips from being devoured by Galactus. He successfully thwarted Galactus with his wit and power in the end. Darkseid from DC Multiverse 55. In the alternate reality of the deceased universe, Darkseid abducted Cyborg to extract half of the anti-life equation from his techno-organic circuitry, pairing it with his half equation. Using Black Race's essence of death to sustain Cyborg during the extraction, Darkseid blended Death's essence with the equation and injected it into Cyborg. The corrupted equation transformed Darkseid into a ravenous, undead entity. Plunging into Apokolips' core, Darkseid seemingly perished, annihilating the entire planet. However, Darkseid's survival was unveiled in the deceased War of the Dead Gods storyline. Now a Deadite, Darkseid returned with an army poised to invade Earth, intensifying the threat faced by the survivors. Darkseid from DC Multiverse 49. In the earth-shattering narrative Injustice Gods Among Us, Darkseid repeatedly attempted to conquer Earth from the malevolent Superman, leading to the tragic death of his son, Calibac, at the hands of Superman. Subsequently, Darkseid dispatched Lobo to assassinate Superman and manipulated the Justice League into a confrontation with the Great Gods. Following the resolution of conflicts between the League and the Gods, Superman confronted Darkseid, warning him against ever returning to Earth. In an exchange, Superman delivered Ares into Darkseid's custody, allowing Darkseid to subject him to torture. The Darkseid from this universe was finally killed in the Injustice vs. Masters of the Universe storyline. When he tried to take over Castle Grayskull, Superman and He-Man fought him. He-Man drove his magic sword through him, and the killing blow dissipated Darkseid's essence and turned it into knowledge, thus ending Darkseid. Thanoside from Amalgam Universe. Thanoside, aka the Dark Lord, emerged in the Amalgam Universe as a fusion of DC's Darkseid and Marvel's Thanos. His debut occurred in Bullets and Bracelets issue number 1, Final Thrust. As one of the most menacing adversaries in this blended reality, Thanoside ruled supreme over Apokolips. His ambitions spanned total annihilation, absolute dominion, and a covetous desire to earn Lady Death's favor, driving his relentless pursuit of the ultimate anti-life nullifier. With the combined might of Darkseid and Thanos, Darkseid wielded immense stamina and mastered the Omega effect. His formidable psychic abilities, super strength, telekinesis, time manipulation, and immortal status underscored his dominance. Despite his malevolent nature, Highfather Odin hinted at glimpses of redeeming qualities within Darkseid. He orchestrated the cataclysmic secret crisis of the Infinity Hour, seeking to erase everything except Apocalypse alongside Dr. Doomsday, marking the most pivotal battle in the Amalgam Universe's history. Darkfather from Dark Multiverse. This iteration of Batman made his debut in Dark Knight's Death Metal issue number 1. In this version from Dark Multiverse, after vanquishing the malevolent deity Darkseid, Batman absorbed his powers and adopted his visage. Mastering the anti-life equation, he had control over others' will, and reshaped Apocalypse's parademons into para-Robins. Eventually retiring and bestowing control over the anti-life to his world Superman, he allied with Batman Who Laughs' Dark Knights, striking a deal with Perpetua to invade Earth-Zero. Under orders from the Batman Who Laughs, Darkfather erected new Apocalypse within the sun's core. Capturing Superman, he intended to extract power from his solar cells. Armed with a death drive blueprint, he threatened Kryptonians with annihilation unless they succumbed to anti-life. In a fierce clash, Superman eventually incapacitated him, sending Darkfather hurtling out of New Apocalypse. Number 13. Darkseid as Necron's avatar. This iteration of Darkseid debuted in Tales from the Dark Multiverse, Blackest Night issue number 1. Originally the ruler of Apocalypse, he succumbed to the influence of the Black Lanterns. Joining the Black Lantern Corps, he realized Necron's word was the anti-life equation, transforming into Necron's avatar. During a climactic showdown, Darkseid detonated Lobo, but Lobo's immortality made his cells multiply. Attempting to thwart Sinestro from executing Mr. Miracle's plan, he offered Sinestro the oblivion he sought. However, Sinestro rejected the proposition. Sinestro utilized his remaining power, harnessing the Mother Box, Lobo's regenerative cells, and Dove's Source-infused body to vanquish the Black Lanterns and abolish death, leading to Darkseid's demise in the process. Darkseid from Black Label, Danger Street. Within the Black Label imprint, diverse portrayals of Darkseid emerged, offering traditional yet distinct perspectives. In the narrative of Danger Street, Darkseid was depicted mourning the demise of Atlas the Great alongside Highfather. This iteration presented a more empathetic aspect of Darkseid, revealing a tempered demeanor developed through age and experience. Surprisingly, he was depicted embracing his longtime adversary Highfather in a tribute to Atlas, unveiling a notably softer facet of the typically wrathful deity. Darkseid from Black Label, Last Night on Earth. As humanity descended into darkness, Darkseid faced his end at the hands of a fractured Bruce Wayne, embittered by humanity's cruelties. Bruce assumed the identity of Omega, wielding the anti-life equation for dominion after Darkseid's demise. Darkseid's severed head, a haunting symbol, adorned a spike, serving as both a trophy and a channel for transmitting the equation via Omega's amplifier. Later, a cloned Batman utilized this very spike to terminate the original Darkseid. Tartarus from Earth 8. In traditional comic book lore, Tartarus can't be simply classified as a variant of Darkseid, but he makes the list as he was created as a reflection of Thanos, who himself served as an analog to Darkseid. He debuted in Justice League Incarnate issue number 1. Years ago on Earth 8, Tartarus struck a deal with a form of Darkseid, allowing the Lord of Apocalypse to leave Earth 8 untouched in exchange for Tartarus to conquer it. Anticipating Darkseid's inevitable betrayal, Tartarus prepared for their impending conflict. As the multiverse rift emerged in his universe, Tartarus assaulted Angor, aiming to seize power from beyond the rift for his eternity conquest. While effortlessly vanquishing the retaliators, heroes from diverse worlds converged on Earth 8 seeking the rift's power, including Darkseid, now fused with his multiple incarnations. Tartarus proposed an alliance to share the rift's power, but Darkseid refused, instigating a fierce battle for its control. Despite Tartarus's ferocious resistance, Darkseid emerged triumphant, ultimately killing him by snapping his neck. Darkseid from DC Multiverse 3839. On Earth 3839 during the 19th century, Darkseid orchestrated the creation of parademons, capable of independent thought. However, in the ultimate confrontation between Orion and Darkseid, Apocalypse was decimated. Darkseid's essence endured through specialized machinery concealed within the planet's core. Revived in the 25th century by Darkseid and his elite guard, he crafted new parademons with autonomous thinking abilities. Their mission, travel back in time to vanquish Earth's heroes. By the 28th century, Darkseid seized Beautiful Dreamer and killed Superman's children as they attempted a rescue, ultimately snapping Beautiful Dreamer's neck before departing. His return in the 30th century brought another assault on Earth. However, Superman obliterated Darkseid's space station, releasing an overwhelming energy that reset the entire timeline, erasing Darkseid from existence. Dark Khan from Mortal Kombat vs. DCU. Following the apparent demise of Shao Kahn and Darkseid after their failed invasions of Mortal Kombat's Earthrealm and DC's Earth, their physical forms merged, birthing the monstrous entity known as Dark Khan. This fusion led to the convergence of Earth and Earthrealm. Endowed with the godlike powers of both Darkseid and Shao Kahn, Dark Khan's influence ensnared nearly all DC superheroes, villains, and Mortal Kombat combatants, inciting internal conflicts to accelerate the impending destruction of both worlds. The final showdown occurred when Superman and Raiden confronted Dark Khan, utilizing his own rage against him. This maneuver resulted in the separation of Darkseid and Shao Kahn, effectively restoring both universes and thwarting the cataclysmic destruction.
Please, Father!
Darkseid from DC Animated Universe Main Earth. Darkseid made his DCAU debut in the episode Tools of the Trade of Superman, the animated series, in February 1997. His initial attempt to conquer Earth involved manipulating Intergang and its leader, and was thwarted by Orion and Superman. Darkseid later seized control of Brainiac, aiming for a second Earth invasion. Despite an apparent demise in combat with Superman on Brainiac's base, Brainiac was resurrected by Luthor and Legion of Doom, now merged with Darkseid. Empowered with Brainiac's abilities, Darkseid launched an assault on Earth, confronted by the Justice League. Although Superman initially overpowered Darkseid in Metropolis, Darkseid ensnared Superman with an agony matrix and sought to kill him with a kryptonite knife. Luthor manipulated the anti-life equation, leading to both Darkseid and Luthor being absorbed into the Source Wall while admiring its beauty.
Your new lord and master. You may call me Darkseid.
Darkseid from DC Animated Universe Earth 12. On Earth 12, Darkseid and Luthor escaped absorption into the Source Wall and resumed their dominions. In later years, Highfather sought Darkseid's aid, a bargain that required full access to the anti-life equation. While Highfather was overwhelmed by luminance, Darkseid endured blindness and relinquished the Omega Force. Recognizing his unsuitability to rule Apokolips, he bestowed leadership upon his son, Orion. Darkseid from DC Animated Movie Universe. Darkseid entered the DC Animated Movie Universe in Justice League War, initiating an assault on Earth to morph into Apokolips for his dominion. This event united Earth's 7 major superheroes, thwarting Darkseid and forcing his retreat to Apokolips. Manipulating events, he orchestrated the death of Atlantis' king, inciting a retaliatory attack on Earth by the Atlanteans. Creating Doomsday, he orchestrated Superman's demise and crafted Cyborg Superman as a replacement. Subsequently, Darkseid eliminated numerous Earth superheroes, leaving a powerless Superman and a few other superheroes to lead a resistance. The conflict culminated in widespread devastation, pitting Darkseid against Trigon in an endless battle. Flash initiated a flashpoint to reboot the universe, erasing this catastrophic reality and birthing the Tomorrowverse. Darkseid from Smallville TV series. In the acclaimed Smallville TV series, Darkseid's portrayal seldom featured his traditional godlike form, except for a solitary instance utilizing CGI rendering. Retaining his backstory as a malevolent deity seeking dominion over Earth, he manifested mostly as a dark, smoky entity or a flock of ravens. Frequently, Darkseid inhabited others, manipulating figures like Gordon Godfrey and Lionel Luthor for his designs. Using Lionel's body as a vessel, Darkseid confronted Clark at the Kent farm, taunting him about humanity's susceptibility to his influence. During their encounter, Clark, empowered after a mental exchange with Jor-El, attained mastery over flight. In a decisive move, he flew through Darkseid's host body, shattering it and seemingly ending him. Embracing the mantle of Superman, Clark soars into the skies, pushing Apokolips away from Earth, ultimately neutralizing the threat posed by Darkseid. Darkseid from DC Extended Universe. This version of Darkseid was initially hinted at in the film Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. In a nightmare sequence, Bruce Wayne envisioned a future where Darkseid dominated Earth, wielding the anti-life equation to control Superman. Darkseid made his monumental big-screen debut in Zack Snyder's Justice League, stepping into the spotlight as the primary antagonist within the DC Extended Universe. Portrayed as Juxus, he engaged in a fierce battle against the combined forces of the Old Gods, the Amazons, the Atlanteans, and all the kingdoms of men. He was intent on extracting the anti-life equation from Earth's core by harnessing the power of the 3 mother boxes under his control. But he suffered severe battle injuries and was forced to withdraw alongside his army. As Steppenwolf uncovered the presence of the anti-life equation on Earth, Darkseid marshaled his forces, preparing for an imminent invasion of the planet. Darkseid Mech, DC Mech. Set in Earth 28 of the DC Universe, DC Mechs introduces a unique twist to the character of Darkseid and the forces of Apocalypse. Unlike their traditional portrayal as being solely bent on destruction and dominion, in this iteration, their motivations parallel Marvel's cosmic entity Galactus. DC Mechs #1 unveils a Darkseid who, instead of pursuing sheer destruction, seeks to consume planets using Apocalypse as a means to gain unprecedented power. In fact, he's transformed Apocalypse into a version of the Galactus engine. The central threat in DC Mechs revolves around Darkseid and Apocalypse, with Darkseid's goal being the containment and control of all reality, much like his various iterations in different timelines. In this mech-dominated world, Krypton becomes a significant target and ultimately falls victim to Apocalypse. Darkseid essentially aims to strip-mine the galaxy to construct an anti-life engine, providing access to the greater multiverse. The destruction of Krypton and other worlds becomes a means for Apocalypse to consume and fuel Darkseid's quest for more power, drawing parallels to Galactus' character in Marvel Comics. Apocalypse, much like Galactus, becomes a cosmic force that devours worlds without regard for their inhabitants, while Darkseid's armies serve as lethal heralds, similar to Galactus' own. This inventive twist not only distinguishes this version of Darkseid, but also sets up an invulnerable adversary for the heroes of DC Mechs. Overall, the convergence of Darkseid's attention on Earth promises a powerful enemy for the heroes to unite against, adding a compelling layer to the narrative. Darkseid, Earth 27. In the Earth 27 universe, the Jurassic League comic introduces Darkseid, also known as Dark Embryo, who emerges as a colossal ankylosaurus from distant cosmic realms with a ravenous appetite for world consumption. The saga of Dark Embryo begins as its cosmic egg traverses the universe, especially landing on planets inhabited by intelligent dinosaurs. On each world, it systematically devours all life, enslaving the mightiest inhabitants as its loyal generals before moving on to the next destination. Now, this celestial egg eventually finds its way to Earth, where, having feasted on humans and its own minions, Darkseid absorbs enough energy to hatch. But a devastating assault ensues on Themyscira, prompting a coalition of heroic dinosaurs to stand against this cosmic menace. Darkseid reaches an unprecedented level of power, devouring even its entire army and appearing invulnerable to the most indomitable attacks from its adversaries. Only through the ingenuity of Supersaw does the tide turn, as Supersaw carries Darkseid into space and delivers a decisive punch, hurtling the monstrous entity back to Earth with such force that it literally creates a new landmass. This ingenious strategy becomes the key to defeating the seemingly invincible Darkseid, marking a pivotal moment in the battle against this cosmic devourer.
This time, you have arrived too late, Firestorm.
Darkseid Super Friends, Earth 1956. Here, Darkseid stands as one of the most powerful adversaries the Justice League of America has ever confronted, reigning as the malevolent ruler of the planet Apocalypse. His relentless pursuit of universal conquest, with the intent to bend all inhabitants to his will, has made him a feared figure throughout the galaxy, bolstered by his loyal henchmen, Caliban and Darkseid. Boasting powerful Omega beams at his disposal, Darkseid possesses the capacity to overwhelm even the mighty Superman when unleashing his full power. Renowned as a commanding leader within the intergalactic underworld, Darkseid's influence extends far and wide. In this alternate universe, Darkseid, originally named Uxas, emerged as the younger son of Yuga Khan and Hagra, born into Apocalypse's royal family. Driven by a deep-seated desire to ascend to the throne, Uxas plotted against his peaceful brother Drax and his mother Hagra, manipulating events. He orchestrated Drax's demise during a crucial connection to the Omega realm, claiming the godly power for himself and adopting the name Darkseid. His cunning machinations extended to New Genesis, where he influenced a young and impressionable boy Darkseid, ultimately shaping him into his trusted advisor. Initiating conflicts between Apocalypse and New Genesis, Darkseid's actions, including the killing of Avia, ignited a war between the two realms. As part of his intricate web of alliances and rivalries, Darkseid was betrothed to Tigra, a woman aligned with his mother's preferences, although he held no genuine affection for her. Furthermore, Darkseid harbors a fanatical obsession with Wonder Woman, viewing her as a potential queen to rule the universe alongside him. This fixation, however, may stem more from lust than romantic sentiments. The prospect of a union with Wonder Woman would not only make her the stepmother of Caliban and Orion, but would also add a complex layer to Darkseid's intricate character dynamics. Darkseid Future State. In this universe, Darkseid found himself under the influence of Starro at a certain juncture, engaging in a fierce confrontation against a new iteration of the Justice League. In a distant future of the 30th century, Darkseid faced a significant challenge from Pyros, the son of Superman, who rose to power and dethroned the tyrant from Apocalypse. Although the circumstances surrounding Darkseid's purported demise remained shrouded in ambiguity, leaving uncertainty about the veracity of the claim. Subsequently, after almost a millennia later, As a cosmic cataclysm unfolded, Darkseid emerged as one of the last surviving beings. Following the destruction of New Genesis, he assumed the mantle of High Father among the new gods. Abandoning Apokolips to its demise, Darkseid ventured to Earth to confront his long-standing adversaries, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the warriors of Themyscira. In a final, devastating battle, he effortlessly overwhelmed the heroes, resulting in the demise of the Amazons and the peril of the Green. Ultimately, Darkseid's journey met its conclusion as he faced his ancient nemesis, Superman, in the heart of the sun. The battle reached its climax as the star went nova, spelling the end for Darkseid and his adversary, bringing closure to their enduring conflict. Darkseid, Earth 2. In this universe, Darkseid retained his position as the oppressive ruler of Apokolips, alongside being a sadistic and merciless tyrant with a relentless ambition to conquer and subjugate countless worlds. As the god of tyranny, he frequently pursued the anti-life equation to enslave all existence under his control. In the genesis of his reign, Darkseid fathered several sons, including the brutal warrior Kalibak and the traded-for-peace Orion, who was exchanged with Highfather's son, Scott. The tyrant's insidious plans extended to Earth, where he engaged in a cosmic war after a mischief maker named Kaio challenged Darkseid's authority, leading him to pursue her across the universe. Upon encountering the mighty Superman on Earth, Darkseid's jealousy triggered a declaration of war on the planet. This led him to assemble powerful female furies, Kali, famine, pestilence, and death, for the impending battle with death bearing Darkseid's child, Deathspawn. In the midst of this war, Darkseid orchestrated the creation of a clone of Earth 2 Superman to advance his influence among humans, preparing the planet for his impending arrival. Subsequently, 5 years later, Darkseid sealed himself within the Mobius chamber on Apokolips, where his adopted son, Mr. Miracle, confronted him to unveil the truth about his origin. Despite Miracle's aggression, Darkseid remained silent and then defeated Mr. Miracle, offering his ally Fury a pact to join him against Earth. After recruiting Fury as his ally and Miracle as his prisoner, Darkseid was offered a new deal by the Traveler, who proposed a new Genesis, where, if Darkseid limited his feeding to Earth, the Highfather wouldn't interfere. Soon, Darkseid eliminated the World Army's commander and commanded Barda to cleanse Earth for Apokolips's arrival. With the preparations complete, Darkseid unleashed a terraformer on Earth's atmosphere, while his Deathspawn infected the planet's core. Despite the wonders of the World Team's efforts, Darkseid claimed victory, facing two Kryptonians, Power Girl and the new Superman, head-on. The tyrant defeated Earth's defenders, leaving the Green Lantern alone against him. Initially overpowering the Green Avatar, Darkseid faced a resurgence when the Green Lantern tapped into the multiversal green, repelling Darkseid and saving survivors from his wrath. Darkseid, however, regained strength, seemingly obliterating his enemies before Apokolips consumed Earth. Baby and teenage Darkseid, Prime Earth. In the narrative of Dark Knights, Metal, Batman devised a plan to utilize Darkseid's Omega beams, aiming to travel back in time and prevent Barbatos from encountering him. The intriguing twist occurred during the New 52's Justice League event, Darkseid War, where Darkseid was transformed into a baby. In this event, the Anti-Monitor killed Darkseid, only for his resurrection to transpire through a unique and intricate process orchestrated by his daughter, Grail, who resurrected Darkseid by infusing his essence into the body of Superwoman and Alexander Luthor's newborn child. Darkseid, now in infant form, lacked a will of his own, rendering him a potent weapon. Although the Justice League seized this opportunity and stole the baby Darkseid from Grail, she later managed to escape with the infant Darkseid. Returning in the Rebirth era, Darkseid and Grail resurfaced in the Wonder Woman series, with Darkseid commanding Grail to carry out his dark bidding. In a surprising development, the once baby Darkseid had rapidly grown into a murderous teenage boy in DC's Rebirth. This transformation took place in the main Wonder Woman series, where Grail, Darkseid's daughter, engaged in a war with the Amazon princess. Darkseid, now a teenager, played a supporting role in various main events, adding complexity to the storyline. The Wonder Woman series revealed that Darkseid's accelerated growth required souls to reach adulthood. Although he was a powerful ruler of Apokolips, even Darkseid must navigate the challenges of adolescence. The narrative showcased Darkseid's growth into a teenager, highlighting his hunger for souls and the unfolding conflict with Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman number 33 issue provided insight into Darkseid's childhood, revealing his demands for souls to satiate his hunger and accelerate his maturation. Grail, driven by her loyalty to her father, sought to gather the demigod energy of Zeus's children to empower Darkseid. This set the stage for an intense chapter in Wonder Woman's story, where Grail aimed to defeat Zeus's offspring, including Hercules, to transfer their demigod energy to Darkseid. As the narrative unfolded, Darkseid's teenage form emerged, showcasing his formidable presence. However, to attain his full power, Darkseid required the life force of Wonder Woman or her twin brother. Darkseid, Young Justice. Around the turn of the 13th century, Darkseid's forces embarked on an ambitious endeavor to conquer Earth. However, they encountered unexpected resistance from Vandal Savage, who, during that era, operated under the name Genghis Khan and led a formidable army. Despite Savage's army facing defeat, Darkseid became fascinated by the meta-human abilities displayed by Savage and his two sons. This fascination led to an intriguing partnership between Darkseid and Savage, with the shared goal of conquering the galaxy. However, an agreement was forged that once this conquest was achieved, Earth and Apocalypse would engage in a final battle for ultimate domination of the universe. The alliance between Darkseid and Savage extended to a secret society known as the Light, with Darkseid providing technology to Earth via boom tubes. The initial tests occurred in Bialia, with the delivery and study of the new Genosphere, and later shipments of Apocalyptan weapons. Through Darkseid, Intergang also gained access to Apocalyptan and stolen new Genesian technology. As part of their collaboration, Savage, having acquired the War World, traveled to Apocalypse to meet Darkseid. The two greeted each other as equals, with Darkseid giving Savage a vigorous handshake, affirming that it was business as usual. When Savage informed Darkseid of an impending alien armada attack, Darkseid dispatched his son Calibac to aid Savage, resulting in the annihilation of one of the armadas by sacrificing a meta-human. During the interrogation of Granny Goodness, who had sought the secrets of the anti-life equation, Darkseid and Savage solidified their mutual understanding. Following Granny Goodness's defeat, the collaboration between Darkseid and Savage continued, indicating a strategic alliance between Earth and Apocalypse. Darkseid, Anti-Life, New Earth. In New Earth, Darkseid, the malevolent ruler of the nightmarish realm Apocalypse, extended his dominion over conquered worlds, establishing his authority as a new god existing beyond the confines of the conventional universe in the ethereal domain known as the Fourth World. Revered as a conceptual being, Darkseid embodied the epitome of tyranny rather than pure evil. His insatiable quest for dominance propelled him to aspire to conquer not only creation, but the entire multiverse. Designated as the god of tyranny, Darkseid relentlessly pursued the coveted anti-life equation, a formidable power capable of transforming any entity into his obedient and mindless thrall, wholly subjected to his indomitable will. In his relentless pursuit of this equation, Darkseid sought to bring the entirety of creation under his tyrannical rule, aiming to subjugate every corner of the multiverse to bend to his whim. Darkseid, Lego Batman Universe. In the Lego universe, Darkseid assigned the Justice Syndicate of Earth 3 with the mission to capture the Justice League and locate the Mother Box on Earth. Despite his calculated plans, the villains on Earth managed to liberate the Justice League and successfully thwart Darkseid's schemes. This narrative unfolded in its first appearance within the storyline of Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. His powers in this iteration ranged from shooting Omega beams, mind control, super leaping, telekinesis, and toxic immunity. Darkseid Girl, Ami Komi. Drawing inspiration from anime-style figures created by DC Collectibles, Ami Komi presents a distinctive perspective on the female characters within the DC universe. Within this imaginative world, superpowers are exclusive to women, encompassing both heroes and villains. The stories of iconic characters like Wonder Woman and Batgirl unfold in a realm characterized by swift-paced action and exhilarating airborne adventures, offering a unique and entertaining take on the DCU. Marvelous verdict. That's all for today, my parademons. Remember, the saga of Darkseid and his indelible impact across existence and timelines continues. As long as the Omniverse endures, Darkseid persistently seeks control through the anti-life equation unless halted, vanquished, or reset. Be assured, whenever a new iteration of Darkseid emerges, our channel will delve into his origins. Until the next invasion, for Darkseid. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks, everyone.